Hello everyone, welcome to Botany National Channel for UPSC examination. Friends, in today's video lecture, we are going to understand what are the types of the leaves. As you know, in the previous video, we have studied about the basic morphology of the leaves. So now, in this particular video lecture, we are going to see the types of the leaves. That is, which type of the leaves were found in the plant kingdom. Okay. So before starting the video, I request you to join our Telegram channel of Botany Hostel for UPSC on the Telegram platform. There we regularly upload the notes and the links of the videos so that you will not miss any update relating with this particular Botany Hostel channel. Beside this, we also provide the membership for the UPSC mains examination. These memberships were divided into the three categories. You can select the category and purchase these memberships in order to complete your botany optional syllabus for UPSC in a quick time. All right. So let us begin with the types of leaf. Now see, on the basis of the incision in the lamina, the leaves were actually are of two types. As you already know, what is lamina, because the leaves were made up of the three parts, right? The very first part is the leaf base. Then the second part is called the petiole, and the third portion, the main photosynthetic portion, is called as the lamina. All these three structures we have discussed in our previous video, right? Now, if this particular lamina part of the plant is having the incision in it, then depending upon this presence or absence of this incision, the leaves can be of two types, right? The simple leaves and the compound leaves. Now understand this. This is a leaf base and this is an petiole, and this portion is considered as a lamina, right? And if this lamina has an incision, or whether it has an incision or not, depending upon this, we have two types of the leaves. The first leaves were called the simple leaves, and the second one is called as the compound leaves, right? Now let us consider first the simple leaves. What are the simple leaves? These leaves are in which the single leaf blade or lamina is present. So if any leaf is there and this leaf is giving the only one lamina and there is no incision in this particular lamina, then such a kind of leaf is called as the simple leaf. Okay, and for this we have the example of the mango, people, and the papaya. So here you can see the people leaf is here, and this people leaf do not show any type of incision in the leaf, and that is why this leaf is considered as a simple leaf. Same is true for the mango leaf. Okay, mango leaf is also don't show any type of incision, and hence this mango leaf is also comes under the simple type of leaf. So simple type of leaf are those leaves which do not show any incision in their lamina, and the example for these are the mangoes, peepals, and the papaya leaves. Now consider the second one, which is called as the compound leaves. Now, compound leaves are those leaves in which the leaf blade or the lamina is divided into the number of segments known as leaflets or pinnae. Right? Now, you must have seen such a kind of leaf in your surrounding. Right? This type of leaves were considered as a compound leaf because the single blade, this is considered as a whole blade or the lamina, and this lamina has divided into the number of leaflets or pinnae. Okay, these are portions which are came out of the single lamina. These small portions are called as the leaflets or the pinnaes. Okay, pinnaes or leaflets is it's a literal name for this particular segments which are created out of the common lamina. So whenever the lamina is showing the incision in it, the leaf is called as the compound leaf, and compound leaf looks like this because many pinnas or the leaflets were created out of the single lamina. Okay, and what are the small leaves were got created in this process? These leaves were called as leaflets or the pinnaes. Okay, the leaflets never bear the axillary bud in their axils. Okay, this is very important because whenever you see the complete leaf or the simple leaf, this simple leaf tends to has the axillary bud in their axils, but this particular axillary bud do not show its presence in the compound leaf. Compound leaf never these leaflets never show the presence of the particular axillary bud in their axial. Okay, so this is the important difference between the whole leaf or the simple leaf and between the leaflets of the compound leaf. Right? Now see the compound leaf. These compound leaves are again are of two types. These are called as the pinnately compound leaf and the palmately compound leaf. Okay, there are two kinds of leaves. First is called as pinnately and second is called as palmately. So as we have divided the leaf into the two types, the very first type is the simple leaf and the second type is called as the compound leaf. Again, these compound leaf are divided into the two categories, the pinnately compound leaf and the palmately compound leaf. Now let us consider what is the difference between pinnately compound and the palmately compound. Okay, now consider the first one, which is called as the pinnately compound leaf. These are those leaves in which the leaflets are present laterally on the common axis called the rachis, which are represent the midrib of the leaf. Now see, the pinnately compound leaf shows the presence of central rachis. Okay, this portion is called as the central rachis. Okay, understand this particular stem-like stem-like structure. This stem-like structure is called as the rachis, and on these rachis, the lateral leaflets are born there. So there is a central rachis, and after the rachis, on the lateral side of the rachis, there is the presence of the leaflets. Okay, and such a kind of arrangement will always be seen in the pinnately compound leaves. An example for this we have is the goldmore cassia or the neem. Okay, this is the neem leaves, and whenever you try to explain the pinnately compound leaves, you should mention that the pinnately compound leaves are those leaves which are having the common axis, and on this common axis there is a presence of the lateral leaflets. If such a kind of arrangement is there, then this is called as the pinnately compound leaf. Right now, see, this pinnately compound leaf is again are of four types: the unipinnate leaf, then the bipinnate leaf, tripinnate leaf, and a decompound leaf. Okay, you should carefully remember the classification of the leaves, because right from the beginning we have classified the leaf into the simple leaf and the compound leaf, right? And this simple and compound leaf is again are of these compound leaf is again are of two types: pinnately compound and palmately compound. This pinnately compound is again are of four types. These are four types: are unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate, and the decompound. All right, now let us consider the unipinnate. Now see the unipinnate leaves in which the single leaflets were present on the rachis in the opposite fashion. Just like observe in this particular picture. Here the single rachis is there, and on this single rachis there is a opposite presence of the leaflets. Then such a compound leaf is called as the unipinnate leaf. Okay, it is called a single rachis is present, and on this single rachis laterally in opposite fashion there is a presence of leaflets. Such a kind of arrangement is called as the unipinnate arrangement. Now consider the bipinnate arrangement. When the single leaflets of the unipinnate leaf gets replaced with the unipinnate leaves themselves to become the bipinnate leaves. For example, the Mimosa pudica. Observe this Mimosa pudica. Here the unipinnate leaves has replaced itself with another unipinnate leaves and making it to the bipinnate leaves. Okay, so here what is happening actually, the unipinnate leaf itself getting replaced with the unipinnate leaves, and due to this the bipinnate condition is got created, and such a bipinnate condition can be found in a plant which is called as the Mimosa pudica. Here the example for the every category is very important. You should remember carefully. For the bipinnate pinnately compound leaves we have the example of the Mimosa pudica. All right. Now consider the tripinnate leaves. Tripinnate leaves are those leaves in which the single leaflets of the unipinnate leaves get replaced by the bipinnate leaves. Okay. First there is a unipinnate leaflet, and this unipinnate leaflet is got replaced by the bipinnate leaflet. Then in such a condition, this type of the leaves is called as the tripinnate leaves. You should carefully remember here the single leaflets is getting replaced by the bipinnate leaves, and in the bipinnate leaves the single leaflet was getting replaced by the unipinnate leaves, right? And for this tripinnate leaves we have the example of a Moringa oleifera. This plant is called as the Moringa oleifera, and as you know, this is the famous plant used in the many food nutrition programs across the Africa, right? Now the Moringa oleifera is example for this. Now the fourth one, which is called as the decompound leaf, it's a leaf which is having a division themselves compound or leaf composed of a number of leaflets on a common stalk. Okay, yes, there is a common stalk, and the number of the leaflets are arising out of it are so many that it is classified under the heading which is called as the decompound. For that we have the example of a coriander. Okay, so single rachis is there, and single out of the single rachis the many compound leaves are coming out, and hence this type of condition is called as the decompound leaf. Okay, now consider this. Then the second type is called as the palmately compound leaf. And now what are the palmately compound leaf and how these are different from the pinnately compound leaf? These are those leaves in which all the leaflets are attached to the common point. See, this is very important. What is the difference between pinnately compound and palmately compound leaf? In the pinnately compound leaf, you will see the leaflets present laterally like this, and they were originating from the many sources. Okay, that there are many places on which these leaflets were originated, such as this a particular leaflet is originating from here, this particular leaflet is originating from here. But in the palmately compound leaves, the leaflets were attached to the common point. There is always a common point, and all the leaflets were attached to this particular common point, and hence this type of leaves were called as the palmately compound leaves. Okay, that is at the tip of the petiole. They will always possess the petiole, and on this petiole the many leaves were present there. So these are comes under the palmately compound leaves, and these palmately compound leaves are showing the presence of leaflets on a common point which is called as the petiole. For that, we have the example of a silk cotton. Okay, now consider these palmately compound leaves are of five types. Okay, five types of palmately compound leaves were there. First is called as the unifoliate leaves, second bifoliate leaves, third is trifoliate leaves, and fourth is quadrifoliate leaves, while the fifth one is the multifoliate leaves. As the heading suggests, the unifoliate means the one leaf is there, bifoliate is two leaves are there, in trifoliate three leaves are there, and in the quadrifoliate four leaves are there, and in a multifoliate more than four leaves were there. Okay, so let us consider the all these types of the palmately compound leaf. Now see the unipinnate leaf. These leaves contain the simple leaf blade, normal leaf with the wing petiole. Just for that, we have example of a citrus lemon. Now observe this here. You will find a petiole just like this, but this is not the simple petiole. It is the wing petiole. Okay, it's a wing-like petiole, and on this wing-like petiole there is the origin of the simple leaflet. Okay, so this type of the leaf is called as the unifoliate leaf because there is a single petiole, and single petiole is holding this particular simple kind of leaf. But this petiole is not simple; it's a wing petiole. Observe here, you can see the wing petiole is there, and out of this wing petiole there is a formation of a unifoliate leaf. For this, we have the example of a citrus lemon. Okay, now the second one is called as the bifoliate leaf. Now bifoliate leaves are those leaves in which the two leaves blades were attached to the common petiole at a single point. For example, we have the example of a Begonia unanensis. Okay, here you will find the single petiole is there, and on which single petiole the two leaflets were always attached itself. Okay, so two leaflets are there and they are attached to the common point on the petiole. Then such a condition is called as the bifoliate leaf. Example for this we have is the Begonia unanensis. Okay, now the third one is called as the trifoliate leaves. Now these trifoliate leaves are those leaves which has three leaves originating from the anterior end of the petiole. Observe, this is an example of oxalis, and through this petiole the three leaflets are coming out. 1, 2 and 3. These are three leaflets which are coming out of the common point which is called as the petiole. It can be considered as a trifoliate leaves, right? Now the fourth point or the fourth type of leaf is called as the quadrifoliate leaf. Okay. Now in the quadrifoliate leaves, the four leaves would be fused to the petiole and appear to be the single leaf. Again, for example, we have the oxalis. Here, the first leaf, second leaf, third leaf, and the fourth leaf, which is attached to the common point of the petiole, and hence it is classified as a quadrifoliate leaf. Okay. Then after that, we have multifoliate leaves where more than four leaflets were attached commonly on the petiole. Observe here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaflets were attached to the common point, and here on the to form a single leaf, it is called as the multifoliate palmately compound leaves. Example for this, we have the baobab and the umbrella plant. This is an umbrella plant, and umbrella plant is showing the 7 leaflets which are attached to the common point on the petiole. So here we have understand how the leaves can be classified into the different types, right? The first type is called as the simple leaf. Then the second type is called as the compound leaf. Again, we have classified this particular compound leaf into two categories. The first is called as the pinnately compound, and second is called as the palmately compound. Pinnately compound is again divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 types, while the palmately compound is again divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types. So all this classification regarding the leaf, you should understand it very carefully because this is the basic botany and you have to use this basic concept in the UPSC mains examination as well. All right. So this is all about this topic. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like this video, share this video with your friends who are studying the botany. And if you haven't subscribed to the Botany After channel yet, please subscribe to the Botany After channel for UPSC examination. Again, thank you very much for giving your time. See you in the next video lecture. Thank you.